Well, hello there. Good evening. Good night. Yes. It appears some prominent Democrats are tired of Hillary Clinton's excuses for losing the election. One of them, her former Senate colleague Chuck Schumer, has taken shots at the former Democratic presidential nominee, telling the Washington Post, quote, "When you lose to somebody who has 40% popularity, you don't blame other things. Comey, Russia, you blame yourself." The Senate Minority Leader also doubled down on his party's failures earlier today.
And when you lose elections, as we did in 2014 and 2016, you don't flinch. You don't blink. You look in the mirror and ask, what did we do wrong? The number one thing we did wrong is not present a strong, bold economic agenda to working Americans so that their hope for the future might return again.
Well, that would have been helpful information last November. Shots across the bow at Hillary.
Yeah, crying Chuck's going to turn into dead Chuck after that. It's tough when you go after a hell dog like that. I'd be worried if I were you. The Democrats have the new slogan. It's called the better deal. I think they better deal with losing. Because they cash on hand, they have about $3 million. The Republicans have about $45 million. And they said that the reason they lost in the last election is because the voters didn't hear their message. Well, they did hear the message, and they didn't like it. I just don't think the Democrats are believable when they say they're fighting for the middle class, because everybody hears about Trump and Russia and global warming. And they say they now want to be about fighting for the middle class. Well, they had 8 years with the White House, and the middle class got hammered. Right. So, what do you have to show for it?
Yeah, what do you have to show for it, Juan? I mean, the bottom line is the bottom line. Democrats don't have a lot of cash on hand. Even Hillary and Bernie both came out swinging against the DNC. And now, Chuck, is he being a little sexist?
Sexist? How's that?
By attacking Hillary in this untoward manner.
Oh, gee, that's sexist. I think he had a point. I mean, it's not only Chuck Schumer. I think you've heard this from David Axelrod and others who've said, gosh, you know, they had a lot of money. They had a tremendous financial advantage over Trump, and they certainly had an unpopular opponent, and they still lost. So I think there's a lot of frustration. But I think, to their credit, they're finally moving forward. I think finally they are now focused on a message that can get traction. It's an economic message about jobs, about wages, about infrastructure.
Is it a centrist message?
It's very centrist, in fact. And so the question is, are you alienating the base? I mean, because there are a lot of people who see blood sport and going after Trump, responding to Trump tweets, delighting in Trump and the Russia probe.
At the top of the show.
Yeah, but I think now this is a more centrist approach, as you were saying. The question is, does it get a response? Obviously, Jesse doesn't think it gets a response because the Republicans always are small government, less taxes. That's pretty easy to understand.
If only.
This message gets immediately mocked.
It used to be.
This message gets immediately mocked by Republicans as sounding like Papa John's, you know, better pizza, better ingredients. So we have a better job plan. But you know what? It may be that this is what the Democrats need.
The Democrats need something. I mean, they obviously...
Where do we begin?
They've run out of ideas and candidates and no money.
They got no money. They got no people. They have no ideas. They produced Donald Trump winning. So
wait a minute. The Democrats produced Donald Trump?
Yes, they did.
You really?
8 years of President Obama.
And
stepping on the middle class. Produced
a better economy under President Obama. A better stock market.
Well, if it was so dandy, then why didn't Hillary win?
Because I don't think it. I think income inequality
stock market. What are you talking about? The stock market was never above 21,000 under President Obama.
Oh, where did it start, Kennedy?
It started at like 4.
Yeah, thank you, Kennedy.
We're gonna dig
just
back.
a little memory. Thank you.
But this is why Schumer also is now like dissing Hillary, because Trump is actually even higher in the polls.
I think that this is actually a strategy to get rid of Hillary.
It is.
I think Chuck is just
you guys need
Hillary.
You need a villain.
Well, Dana, last word.
Okay. How about any word? I would say a couple things. If you listen to Pod Save America, these are the guys that work for President Obama, and they have a podcast. Yep. And this is what they called the new slogan: trash, confusing. And they said, make America great again felt genuine. And this new slogan doesn't have that same feeling. Yep. I also would say, Kimberly, one thing I would quibble with is that it's that they don't have any money, but they have way too many people. Apparently what's happening is in races all across the country, you now have 8 Democrats all vying for like one primary seat. We saw what happened to the Republicans down in Georgia when they had 17. So what's happening is the leaders of the party want to go centrist. those people that are running want to push left. And so
Right.
they're going to drag all those candidates left, and then they're not going to be able to compete in what are much more centrist
And you
districts all
can't
across
have
the
it both
country.
ways. They're going to find that out the hard way. One more thing is up next.